I thought I'd talk a little bit about what it is that I think you get here from the Geek Bus. And what that is an unscripted monologue. I am going to hold forth on various topics, most of them that occur to me in the shower, driving, or wandering around in my own little world. I think in our complex world and country and society and culture and subculture, we need people that we can turn to help us better understand things that are too much for any one person to understand. There still is a place in the world for expertise, for things that and know-how, which I consider to be different from book knowledge, and know-how comes usually from the proverbial 10,000 hours of Malcolm Gladwell, or a lot of time anyway spent doing something. And when you can listen to people like that talk about things, at least there's a chance you can learn something. But how do you determine what somebody like that is? You hope they have a track record of doing things and sticking with them. That would be good. But that's not all there is to it. Maybe it's good they have an advanced degree of some kind, they have an education, but that we know that that's not always necessary to have know-how. It may not be necessary at all. In many instances, it isn't. You simply have done what you do for a very long time, and you get real good at it in one way or another. But how do we determine this on a day-to-day basis or over time? And I think the way is that you come to trust somebody for who knows what reason. I think deep reasons that wouldn't be easy to articulate, but you do after a while. But the way that you do that, I think anyway, is that process is promoted by spontaneity on the part of the person. There's a price to pay for spontaneity. You anger people, you say unguarded things that can be either misinterpreted or maybe even correctly interpreted, but better kept to oneself. Lots of things can happen with spontaneity, but by and large, I think it pays off. And that's what I want to do here, is be as spontaneous as I can within reason, while maintaining my own boundaries, of course. But I want people to get to know me, and good and bad, whatever it is about me, but to get kind of a robust picture of who I am and who I'm not, and decide for yourself, or probably not even decide, just get the feeling whether I'm a trustworthy person for whatever your purposes are or not. And but if I manage to share of myself as broadly as makes any sense to me to do in a platform like this, then you have the opportunity to gain that kind of trust if it works for you. And then you know something from me. You're the beneficiary of whatever it is I know. But you can't do that. I think I mentioned somewhere before, way back in the day, there was a term, instamacy, about people wanting an intimate relationship just right now with someone. And of course, we still hope for that in the world from time to time, but it doesn't really work very well. You get to know a person a little better, just a little better, and you see their true self. And that's always an eye opener, one way or another, frequently not for the good, I might add. But in any case, that's what I hope one gets here, and thereby builds a sense of trust sufficient to believe that what I say may have some grounding in reality, and maybe something useful, truly useful. And not just because I'm pitching it in some appealing way, but because of an accretion of trust just from seeing my various dimensions and kind of knowing who I am. That's, I think, the way it works best. So that's what I'm trying to do here. That's why I'm here at all, is to try to share some concepts that probably originate in psychoanalysis in a way. Of course, they originate in human relationships and the human condition, or as some like to say, they originated with the laws of physics and the initial conditions of the universe at the Big Bang. That would be another way of putting it. But for our purposes, They probably come out of my daily practice of psychoanalysis, but it isn't all the stuff you usually think of when you hear about psychoanalysis. Thank goodness, because we don't, I don't know, I don't really want that. I think much of that is ill-conceived and overvalued in sometimes some downright weird ways, but the human condition is a downright weird thing too, so we have to pay attention to all those different sides of things. But that's what I'm looking for here. You can shut me off and never have to have me darken your doorway again or your screen again, or you can decide that maybe I have something to say that's worth listening to. That's all I ask. And if you do, I look forward to participating with you here at the Geekbus.